sunsets and skies so blue. Mountains whisper stories of dreams so true. From oceans roaring wild to valleys deep, a heartbeat of a nation that will not sleep. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. Save South Africa, rise above the storm. Hands together strong, a new world is born. Beauty in our hearts, let it light the way. Evil cannot reign when we seize the day. People sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The people sing louder than shadows can scream. Together we're stronger than the wicked scheme. The soil holds our history, roots run so long. A melody of freedom, we're singing strong. They may curse the land with lies they weave, but we hold the truth in what we believe. Their crowns may crumble, their thrones may fall, for the power is the people's above it all. We know it all.
Down by the lot near the old cafe where the sun fries cars all night and day, there's a wild crew doing what they do. Yeah, you know them, the parking lot crew. Refugees with moves so tight, waving cars in left and right. 10 ways to say, yo, park that straight. 12 for bro, you're 20 late. Neanderthals in safety vests, snack in hand, but doing their best. One grunted loud, broke out in a jig. Turns out he just wants a parking gig. Canines bark like they run the block. Chased a drone down, beat the clock. One gave change with a tail wag spin. That dog's got tips and a toothy grin. Who you gonna call when the lot gets loud? Parking cones up and the drawing a crowd. Whistles blow and the scooters fly. It's the parking crew and the riding high. From the streets of town to the lot bazaar, they'll guard your ride like a superstar. Yeah, from Josie streets to America, it's the funky, fearless parking lot crew. Car guard shout near the garbage bin. Who parks scale? You let them in. They blow their whistles in perfect time, like a backup band with a traffic sign. Then here comes Wyatt, the colonel boss. Duct tape boots and a look that's sauce. Rides a scooter with flashing beams. Salutes pigeons, yells at ice cream. Men, dogs, apes from a line. No dents, no scrapes, no overtime. If they park like chaos, made a plan. Fight them twice and be the man. Who's got the beat in a vested hat? Parking legends funky like that. Guard your eye with soul and flair, and a hi-fi breeze in the summer air. From this line here to America, it's the wild, proud parking lot crew.
Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Car Guards Unite. Welcome back to the program, folks. Independence Day weekend here in these United States. It's 2:07 in the afternoon here on the East Coast of the United States, making 8:07 in South Africa. Welcome back. A delayed news broadcast today because the Springboks were playing the Azuri at Loftus-Versfeld in a game that looks like it went well for the Springboks, 42-24, but it didn't go so well. Some leaky defense let tries in. Brilliant performance by Morne Vandenberg. Also some good performances by Kurtley Arendse. But sloppy ball handling, lots of knock-ons, and a very dominant scrum, though, by the Springboks. So a bit of this, a bit of that, but not the sort of stuff that's going to beat New Zealand, Ireland, or France. None of whom, well, Ireland's playing right now, but New Zealand and didn't have a particularly good game this weekend either. So there you go, folks. All right, so Springboks win. Not unhappy about it. I covered the spread. I picked them by 20 points. They won by 18, so I got double points in Super Bro. But welcome back to all the Neanderthals, the canines, the right-wing podcasters, and any aspiring car guards out there. Car Guards of America Unite. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Always a pleasure to have you all join me here this Saturday. Busy, busy, busy as always. Lots of news to get through to. Let's just go ahead and get started. I won't even read comments from folks. I'll just welcome you. First off, out the gate, I'm going to have to make a video a little bit later on about a Zimbabwean who's moaning about America. So it's time to put that gentleman's commentary in its place. Sorry, my sleeve got run up there. Must have been too excited during the game and got short on me there. So this is a British and Irish Lions jersey from a series we didn't get to watch, which I had planned to attend for some time in South Africa for years, and then was enrolled for the tickets, and then no one could go. But I did get the jersey, and I did get a British and Irish Lions jersey, as well as a kit bag to carry my stuff, a gym bag. Right, John Steenhuisen slams Thabo Mbeki over his 11-page ludicrous letter attacking the Democratic Alliance for withdrawing from the National Dialogue. They should never have been involved in it. So I think the ANC should attack itself for being foolish and trying to hoodwink Americans. Yeah, they're trying to hoodwink Americans, but also trying to hoodwink South Africans. So John Steenhuisen lets loose on Thabo Mbeki, and I think it's well-deserved. Steenhuisen's brinkmanship aside, this was a silly letter from Thabo Mbeki. The DA received a tongue-lashing from Thabo Mbeki, as well as Sir Ramaphosa over its withdrawal from the National Dialogue. And Mbeki said the DA's decision was based on Helen Zilla's fertile imagination. The DA responded by saying the National Dialogue would predictably involve a lot of talking and nothing would be done about state corruption. I think one of the few good lines from John Steenhuisen late, he said, we've had a National Dialogue. It was called the Elections of 2024. Spot on. Spot on there. Well, DA leader John Steenhuisen, the IOL, also says he hits back at Thabo Mbeki over the criticism. DA leader John Steenhuisen has hit back at former President Mbecky's criticism of the party's decision to withdraw from the upcoming National Dialogue. As far as a dialogue, all I have to say, Thabo Mbeki, is 600,000 dead South Africans because of your small-minded, petty behavior. Yeah, you refuse to allow us to give away free at no charge nevirapine to pregnant mothers in childbirth. You refused. You interdicted and prevented us from doing that. We were going to give it for free, and you let these women transmit HIV to their children, and they died. Courtesy of your small-mindedness, Thabo Mbeki. So you have very little of any consequence that any reasonable, cogent, lucid person would want to hear. You're just so full of it. No one wants to hear what Thabo Mbeki says. Just quietly go off into the sunset, enjoy your extremely wealthy existence, courtesy of suckling off the taxpayers' teeth. Well, ladies and gentlemen, talk about suckling. This is vile and repulsive, and this is the problem with trusting people. You have to be very careful with your resources and who you trust in life. An 86-year-old woman is forced to work as family friend vanishes with millions in retirement money. Johannesburg financial advisor Mark Kretschmer, 86-year-old Shelley Coulter, said she trusted Johannesburg financial advisor and family friend Mark Kretschmer with millions of her retirement funds and has been devastated since he vanished. Kretschmer allegedly left Coulter and other clients who have spoken to News 24 with combined losses of 40 million rand. What a scumbag. What a scumbag, if he did it. 86-year-old Sally Kutler has been dreaming of spending her twilight years in comfort and financial peace, and she planned to go on walks, play her favorite sport, tennis, and entertain family and friends. But now she has to keep working. The 56-year-old Kretschmer swindled her. Decades-long connection to the 1970s when she befriended the in-laws in Cape Town. Wow. So took all of her money. Took all of her money. Renee says, I have done that numerous times, did last night during live chat. I had to wait 20 minutes to be let back in. What are you talking about, Renee? What is going on in my chat? Oh, she's explaining, yeah. What is Renee asking here? I'm going to deal with this before I get further. I don't see what Renee said. Renee, yeah, YouTube, there it is. I have a question. I've been following this channel for about a year, and the last 2 months I've struggled with receiving notifications, also struggling to get it. That's because YouTube is censoring me, and they've been censoring me for 5 years. They don't like people who sit here and tell the truth. I don't spew racial hatred. I don't attack white people, Christians or males or heterosexuals. I don't attack black people, gays or trans. But the fact that I don't attack white people and I don't attack Christians makes me a target. The fact that I know what I'm talking about and have the bona fides to back it up. I'm not just some little, perky C cup with 24-inch waist and a 40-inch hips that's, bouncing around on camera. So YouTube doesn't like that, Renee. They unsubscribed many of my followers, and I apologize you have to wait 20 minutes, but there's a reason for the 20 minutes. That's my doing. I could set that so you can resubscribe and come in immediately, but then we get the hundreds of trolls who come in here and bots who pollute the chat and ruin the experience for everybody. So my apologies for that, Renee, but there's not much I can do about it because I have to have what measures available to me to control what's going on. So I appreciate you following the channel for a year, and I've seen you on here before. It's the last 2 months, ever since I came back from South Africa, after I got the 100,000 on June 4th, things have really been problematic. You can just look at my videos and the number of views on them. Again, I don't want to cry about YouTube, but I mean, it came up. So the Springbok Glory song I published yesterday, 2,000 views. What do new sanctions mean for South Africa? Ronaldo got 89,000 views in 9 hours. Here I am a day later with just 45,000 views on a video that's more in-depth analysis about what it actually means, not that specific bill. It wasn't sensationalism on my part. Jake White leaving the Bulls, 10,000 views. GNU members see the DA as a threat, not the ANC. That one got just 18,000. Whereas if I go back in May, I have 100,000, 200,000, 100,000, 200,000, 100,000 views all the time on my videos. Now, my live streams, for some reason, seem to be doing pretty well. We've got 557 here. We've averaging about 800 to 900, sometimes 12, 1,300 for live streams, and I'm very grateful for that. But YouTube is definitely monkeying around. This is why, Renee, it's critically important that people join the Telegram groups or the WhatsApp groups, not the ones that are, for refugees, but one of the ones that are out there. We've got several so people can join them, so you get the links to all the videos, because it's incredibly frustrating. I only got to 100,000 subscribers because people widely spread my channel, but that's been going on all along. But the real reason is because I caught the right topic at the right time, and I fell into a window where I overcame the shadow banning, where they hit my content, but the algorithm, I just hit the sweet spot in the algorithm so that it promoted my content, and I got so many more new viewers who'd never seen my content before. It's amazing to me that people in South Africa are still discovering who I am after 5 years doing this. But it's cool. That means there's a lot more opportunity to gain subscribers. But that's the problem, Renee. So my apologies for that. It happens all the time. You're going to get a kick out of this. 3 years ago, my moderator, Hendo, was unsubscribed from my channel 3 times in the same day. YouTube unsubscribed a moderator on my channel. Can you imagine that? Also, YouTube goes into my chat. They do this on other ones, but they do a lot of my chat, and they remove people's comments. Oftentimes, they never said anything. And they do that just to piss people off. People are like, well, I'm not going to stay here. There's no free speech. Well, we didn't delete you. We didn't even see your comment. YouTube never posted it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on. Plus, on top of that, YouTube has got some functional problems right now. We've had lots of problems with YouTube streams crashing from the studio, so we can't see if we're even live. Lots of problems with the chat not working. The chat user's name suddenly had a 4-digit number after them a couple days ago. It's all over the place. YouTube has got growing pains as well. So anyway, so Renee, I hope that answers the question, and thank you for your patience and sticking with us. Llewellyn says, I've been skipping the vids because the pace of the news cycle is overwhelming. I need digital and political detox from time to time. Well, Llewellyn, not all my videos are political. The Springbok song is not political, for instance. Yep. So, yeah, I didn't see your comments about Lady R, Virtual Western Cape. Yep. And see, Nicola is way behind. I was talking about the lady being embezzled about 3 minutes ago, and she's just now commenting on it. Yep. So anyway, thank you, Aretha Milan, for the Springbok song. I thought it's pretty good, too. Yeah. Thank you guys. I appreciate those who tag me in your social media, but it's just the way it is. The algorithm is part of it. You got to overcome the algorithm. So 5 cash in transit robbers, suspected cash in transit robbers, have been taken out in 2 days in shootouts with police. 2 others have been arrested. 3 suspected cash in transit robbers died in a shootout with police on the N3 Friday. Good. The team kept surveillance on the N3 for the vehicle. Upon attempting to stop it, the vehicle sped off in a chase ensued, which resulted in a shootout between the suspects and the police. Well, there you go. Them bullet holes, man.
Information was received. Suspects who fled from the KwaZulu-Natal operation linked to cash-in-transit robberies. As per information,
2 unlicensed firearms were recovered in the suspect's vehicle. Well, there's nothing wrong there. They're not criminals having unlicensed firearms. Devastating floods in Cape Town. But why are the floods devastating? These floods weren't devastating in 1632, 1732, 1832, probably not even 1932, before hundreds of thousands of illegal squatters occupied land that's not suitable for habitation. Not suitable. It's suitable for ducks. It's suitable for snails. It's suitable for snakes, but not for human habitation. People moving into flood zones, living in swampy land, taking and stealing land, and then demanding services, and then upset when all goes to crap. I feel bad for the children who have to suffer. Yeah, they definitely reset against me, so here you go. Devastating floods displaced thousands in Cape Town's informal settlements. Heavy downpours overnight left thousands of residents displaced and roads submerged, and widespread damage reported across parts of the Cape Flats and surrounding suburbs. Why is that? Because people shouldn't be living there. Disaster risk management spokesman Charlotte Powell said assessments are currently underway following the rain. Reports have been received from several areas, including Mfuleni, Guguletu, and Khayelitsha. We can confirm that the Vryheidskraal Canal burst its banks, resulting in flooding in some roads in the Athlone Belgravia area. Ladies and gentlemen, quit building your residences and your homes in ecologically unsound locations. Ecologically unsound locations, like Tigerberg Raceway. Stop doing it. The African National Congress has fired a controversial KwaZulu-Natal ANC mayor who had 15 bodyguards. Maybe he's a little afraid about being bumped off by other ANC members. ANC Provincial Task Team fired KwaDukuza Mayor Ali Ngidi over a week ago. Not much attention on that by the media. The party communicated the decision to the caucus this week. He had 15 bodyguards, which violates regulations. The axe found him after it emerged. He had 15 bodyguards, 5 of whom were stationed at his home at a cost of $175,000 or $35,000 per bodyguard per month. Wow. So why does he get? According to guidelines, they're only entitled to 2 bodyguards. Any deviation can only be based on police recommendation, but apparently he did on his own accord. Jacob Zuma's disciplinary hearing or meeting for Duduzila and Ndele has been postponed in the dumpster fire known as the MK Party. MK Party leader Jacob Zuma has postponed a meeting intended to address the alleged unbearable conduct of MPs Duduzile Zuma Sambudla and party spokesperson Nadlumo Ndela. Well, sources within the party told the IOL that Zuma had scheduled a meeting for this weekend to address the allegations against 2, but he postponed it. Is Jay-Z under the weather? Perhaps. Jake White and the Bulls have parted company by mutual consent, announced just recently. Over the weekend, the Bulls have confirmed the departure yesterday of coach Jake White by mutual consent, effective immediately. Brings an end to his tenure at Loftus, where he took the Bulls to 3 United Rugby Championship finals. Sadly, for the Bulls, losing all 3 to the Stormers, to Glasgow, and to Leinster. Shame. Well, the All Blacks achieved their 500th ever Test victory and a win at Dunedin over the French side. A weakened French side, they barely pulled it off. They edged past an understrength France 31-27 in Dunedin to record a 500th Test win for the All Blacks in unconvincing fashion. Will Jordan scored 2 tries to secure a tense victory as the All Blacks held off energetic France, fielding 8 debutants and taking 1-0 lead in 3 Test series. Yep, there you go. Not impressive. Meanwhile, people are complaining about the price of rugby tickets in South Africa. I wish sports events were this inexpensive here. but you really can't compare the two. Tickets for fans, South African rugby threads fine line between box office and expensive. Yeah, well, here are the prices. We compared this earlier on the rugby broadcasts. If you want to go watch the boring game of soccer, Bafana Bafana costs you just 40 Rand for the cheap seats and 100 Rand for the expensive seats. Not even, well, a little over $5. For the Lions, Curry Cup, 40 and 140. For the URC, 60 and 200. That's dirt cheap. The Bulls charge 25 and 150 Rand. For Curry Cup, URC, 102, 350. That's actually not true. I've paid more than that, more than 350 for a URC ticket. That's not correct. And the Sharks charged 60 and 250. The Stormers charged 60 and 120 for Curry Cup and 80 and 350 for URC, which is BS2. I've paid 450 before for those. Anyway, bottom line is that look at the cost for going to 6 different stadiums, 150 to 525. Ellis Park and Cape Town being the most expensive for the single game tickets at the low end, and for the high end it goes from 1900 in Nelspruit all the way up to 4075 in Cape Town and at Ellis Park. So ticket prices can be a bit of a problem for folks. 4,000 Rand is not cheap. That's for the good seats. Well, the British and Irish Lions managed to pull through a victory against the Waratahs, also in unconvincing fashion. This British and Irish Lions team is not very impressive in my view. Yep, they managed to win 21-10. Not very impressive. Well, with Jake White gone, who's next for the Bulls? People are saying it's Johan Ackerman. Others are saying it's Franco Smith. Is it going to be Franco Smith? We shall see. We shall see. In nearby Zimbabwe, the journalist who was arrested for calling the president a crook, yeah, is still in jail. Arrested journalist remained in custody following power outage in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwean journalist Faith Zab was arrested Tuesday for allegedly insulting the crocodile. She wrote an allegedly satirical piece where she criticized him. The Harare Magistrates Court could not hand down judgment in her bail application because there was no electricity. She's the editor of the Zimbabwean independent newspaper, was arrested and accused of insulting President Emerson Mnangagwa. Well, he deserves to be insulted. How is that a crime? Only an insecure, illegitimate country would criminalize speech like that. It's not a crime. Boy, if we could criminalize speech, you imagine all the journalists we could round up and all the social medias we round up and put in concentration camps here in America who criticize Trump. Alexander said, I proposed to officials that rugby tickets be doubled and that 70% of revenue from rugby be given to soccer federation. Soccer is 8 times more popular than rugby. Well, I don't agree with you, Alexander. I'm not paying double so that people get to suck off my teats and get free entrance to frickin' soccer. You want to go to soccer, pay for it. It's more popular? No, it's free on TV. That's why it's popular. It's not popular because people fill the stands. It's a boring game. Boring game. Sleep-inducing. Sleep-inducing. Soccer. Yeah. The Congo bracing for an HIV surge as the captured Wall Street Journal once again betrays its roots as a legitimate, genuine, center-right conservative business publication. It's a leftist rag now. Nicholas Barrio, another woe is me article blaming America for Africa's woes. Well, Freya, you have the Bundesliga, which is a real league, with Bayern München, yep, and you've got the German national team, which used to be comprised of Germans, but now it isn't. Now they aren't German anymore. I used to support the German national team, followed them at every World Cup, supported them over every other team until they stopped being German and hired Ghanaians and Turks and Poles to be on their team. So lost interest in them too. But yeah, I get where you're coming from. The mineral-rich provinces south and North Kivu along the eastern flank of the Democratic Republic should be among the most productive. They're home to a fifth of the country's vast population, the size of some of its most valuable mines. Rape is rife, and so is HIV. And somehow that's America's fault. For years, Congolese women relied on U.S. supplied antiretrovirals such for post-exposure prophylaxis kits to prevent infection after an assault. But the funds for these programs dried up after Trump and his then right-hand man Musk cut funding for most of America's foreign assistance, including many HIV initiatives. 6 months later, the region is threatened by a destabilizing cycle of infection and death. I'm sorry. When is the Congo responsible for that? When are these people responsible for their own behavior? When is the African Union going to contribute? Where's the European Union? Where are the Chinese? Oh, stop blaming us for your problems. You were given 5 years to fix your problem, 5 years, and then we paid for it, the taxpayer, $143 billion for 22 years. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. You know, this little woe is me, blame America. Every time you turn around, Cockprot24 runs another op-ed. Agence France Presse runs another Cockprot article. Where are the French services? Where are the French donating antiretrovirals? Where are the French developed? They're not. They're not existent. All they want to do is crap on America so they can go shove it where the sun doesn't shine. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Well, Major One and coltan exporter bought smuggled DRC minerals. That's not good. That's not good. Oh, but that's our fault. Yeah, that's our fault. Probably because we want the coltan. Yep. Rwandan company Boss Mining Solution bought minerals smuggled from rebel-held areas in the DRC, helping fund an insurgency, according to a confidential report by a group of UN experts that was reviewed by Reuters. Well, we know this to be the case. It's been going on for decades. UN report marks the first time the world body has named a company that is allegedly complicit in trafficking minerals looted from the DRC since M23 insurgents seized a key mining area there last year. Well, there you go. Hardly a surprise. Hardly a surprise. But blame us. It's all our fault. A helicopter carrying African Union mission soldiers from Uganda crashed in Somalia, and 5 soldiers died. 5 Ugandan soldiers were killed when a military helicopter serving the African Union peacekeeping mission in Somalia crashed Wednesday at an airport in the capital. The Mi-24 helicopter was arriving from an airfield in Lower Shabelle region with 8 people on board at the time. It originally belonged to the Ugandan Air Force, but was being operated by the African Union peacekeeping mission. Uganda's military said in a statement the helicopter was a routine combat escort mission, when the pilot and co-pilot flight engineer survived with serious injuries and burns. Wow. That's terrible. I've flown hundreds of hours in helicopters. Would not want to happen. China is dumping electric vehicles across Africa to get market share. Chinese motor vehicle companies are setting up shop across Africa and dumping cheap EVs as domestic market shrinks and tariffs bite. China is planning to maintain its dominance in the international electrical vehicle sector by investing heavily in Africa and dumping vehicles there below cost. The United States has a 25% tariff on imported vehicles, but has imposed a 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles to protect American manufacturers. Protectionism. That's not free marketism. A judge allows the deportation of criminal alien invaders to South Sudan after the Supreme Court ruling. Decision comes after 2 federal judges tried to block illegally Trump's deportation order for 8 criminal alien invaders, sending them to South Sudan, even though they're not from South Sudan. Well, try crossing our border and see what happens to you. We'll continue to fight for the freedoms of Americans while these far-left activists continue to try and force us to bring murderers, pedos, and rapists back into the U.S., said Tricia McLaughlin, Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security. Today, law and order prevails. Long overdue in America, folks. Long overdue law and order. Thank you for that, Tricia. Really appreciate that. Right. Back where we're at here now. So, Hamas has accepted a Gaza ceasefire. Can you believe that? Apparently they need time to regroup. Militant group says it's a terrorist group, Wall Street Journal. It's not a militant group. It's a terrorist group. See the dishonesty of Wall Street Journal? Hamas is designated as a terrorist group by the U.S. government, by the European governments, and the Wall Street Journal calls them a militant group. I think the Wall Street Journal is a militant publication. Hamas accept the framework for proposed 60-day ceasefire and hostage release deal that, if concluded, would immediately trigger U.S.-backed negotiations between the militants and Israel aimed at a permanent end to the war. The terms of the new proposal, put together by U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, along with mediators from Egypt and Qatar, call for, among others, the exchange of 10 living hostages for a larger number of Palestinian prisoners. Of course, they let all the terrorists out to get 10 people out. They've been doing this for 2 years. 3 mayors have been arrested in a crackdown on democracy in southern Turkey. Erdogan, the dictator for life, has arrested 3 mayors in southern Turkey. Abdurrahman Tutdere, mayor of Adıyaman, Zedin Karalar, who leads the Adana municipality, were detained early morning raids, according to Anadolu Agency. That's a Turkish news agency. CHP mayor of Antalya Mutin Bozcik was arrested with 2 other suspects in a separate bribery investigation. Yeah, bribery. I'm sure there's corruption here. Now, funny how they're all opposition people, none of them from the ruling party, as if it has no corruption. Well, a man attempts to set a fire to a synagogue in Melbourne as more anti-Jewish hatred spreads across the planet by bigots and racists. None of the approximately 20 people who were inside the synagogue were injured in the attack, and the latest in the surge of anti-Jewish acts in Australia. The attack came hours after tensions flared elsewhere in the center of Melbourne as dozens of demonstrators rallied against what they called excessive security at local protests. So people are upset about protests, and so they attack Jews? Nothing to do with it. Stupid people. Well, ladies and gentlemen, people have been hailing China for years, and I've said China is a basket case. It's a communist state with no free speech, no genuine entrepreneurialism, cronyism, patronage, and complete environmental degradation and destruction. And if you go 50 kilometers beyond the shoreline, you'll find that China is virtually a third world country. It's also a country that commits genocide against the Uyghurs and also has illegally occupied Tibet for 50 years plus, and they need to evacuate and leave that. That is stolen territory. It is a corrupt country that invaded its neighbors. It invaded North Korea. It invaded, or South Korea actually. It didn't quite get that far. We stopped them. It invaded Vietnam. They invaded Tibet, and they constantly have issues with their neighbors in the subcontinent. China is an evil, evil empire that must be reined in. And here is some of the evidence that I've been talking about for a long time. China has paid a high price for its dominance in rare earths. Dust and groundwater contaminated with heavy metals and radioactive chemicals pose a health threat that the authorities have been trying to address for years. No, they've been trying to cover it up for years. Look at that hideous-looking industrial complex, polluting. Look at all those cooling towers. An artificial lake sludge, partly covered with water, was created in Baotou from the waste from rare earth and iron ore processing. It was built without a liner to prevent its contents from seeping into groundwater, and it pollutes the water everywhere. Voter, thank you for becoming a member. Voter. Chinese mines and refiners produce most of the world's rare earth elements and practically all the few crucial kinds of rare earths. That has given China government near complete control of a critical choke point in global trade. But for decades in northern China, toxic sludge from rare earth processing has been dumped into a 4 square mile artificial lake. In south central China, rare earths mine have poisoned dozens of once green valleys and left hillsides stripped of barren red clay. Achieving dominance of rare earth has come at a heavy cost for China. Here's another lovely photo of the Chinese countryside. Look at that disgusting place. Artificial lake of sludge is contaminated with lead, cadmium, and other heavy metals, including traces of radioactive thorium. Look at this. Look at this. The Chinese, no industrial standards. And this is so you can get cheap iPhones, cheap DVD players, and cheap Chinese crap cars from China. Here's a dirt road near an iron ore facilities in Baotou in October 2010. Look at that. Whoa. How filthy that is. China, the miracle, not. Sheep herder walking past men working on a pipe to an area where waste from iron and rare earth factories is discharged in October 2010. Look at this. An active mine for heavier earth metals in the outskirts of Longnan in south central China in April. Look at that. Disgusting. Yeah, China. Oh, China is just the excellent place. China, China, China. It has the model for Africa. Bull. Well, this is in the wrong spot. I got to change that. Hang on a second. Something's in the wrong place there. Okay. Well, the United Kingdom sent an F-35 and it got lost. Not really. It's not lost. It's trapped. It's trapped. A British F-35 Bravo has been stranded for weeks in an airport in southern India because of mechanical issues. The internet and the region's tourism agency are having fun with it. A top-line British F-35 jet recently became stranded in an airport in Kerala in southern India after a hiccup over the Arabian Sea and has become something of a local celebrity. As the British military works to find a way to bring it home, AI-generated images of the jet, an aircraft worth $100 million currently parked on the airport's tarmac, have spread across India. The region's tourism industry has joined in, posting a fictitious 5-star review of the plane on social media. Karelia is such an amazing place. I don't want to leave. Definitely recommend it, says the airplane. It was unable to return while on a flight, the HMS Prince of Wales, because the weather conditions, was diverted to an international airport. After landing, the jet developed an engine issue. Engineers from the aircraft carrier traveled to the airfield and assessed the plane, decided the British engineering team would be needed to get off the ground. An official at the airport has spoken condition anonymity because of the sensitive nature of the event, so the British engineers had made a number of attempts to fix the jet over several days, but were unable to get it off the ground. So what are they going to do? We don't know how it's going to be fixed. How long will it stay there? We don't know. Here you go. There's an AI image. Kerala is such an amazing place. I don't want to leave. Definitely recommend it. The F-35, man, that's too funny. That's too funny. Well, 4th of July weekend, folks, the nation's 249th anniversary of our Declaration of Independence from the British Empire. Celebrated in style. I just chilled, didn't watch any fireworks, but here are some photos from yesterday's 4th of July. Look at that. Stunning. Americans all over the country. That's near the Washington Monument last night. Here's a shot, fireworks above the Lincoln Memorial. You can see Lincoln Memorial on the left-hand side there, and the fireworks is stunning with Washington Memorial there. That's incredible. Here you go. Look at that. That's the fireworks illuminating the sky above the Lincoln Memorial. Just amazing. And you can see the Capitol building in the distance. That's at the White House. Look at those fireworks, man. Washington Monument. There's President Trump and his lovely wife. The most beautiful and modest first lady ever. Look at that. That's New York City. Ooh, the Brooklyn Bridge. That's pretty incredible. The bridge even lit up. The lady taking a picture of the East River near the Brooklyn Bridge. As fireworks go. More people by the Brooklyn Bridge. Look at that Manhattan skyline with the fireworks going off. Incredible. And here is the annual National Independence Day Parade in Washington, D.C. with Minutemen, fife and bugle. Marines going by, and the Navy just behind them. The Tin-Gao Marching Band. Independence Day Parade. More of the parade. That's in North Carolina there, that photo with the blue car. This is also in North Carolina. Hot dog eating contest. That's probably Coney Island. Joey Chestnut won the competition. Nathan's, yeah, that's at Coney Island. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. That's a disgusting event there. And there's some photographs from the 4th of July, folks. Trump's economy remains strong despite all the efforts in the media to claim that the economy is failing. Oh, the tariffs, all this. The only thing that's holding back the American economy right now is Jerome Powell and the artificially high interest rates. We are one of the worst countries in the world for interest rates, despite the fact that we're one of the countries with the lowest rate of inflation and one of the best economies. And it's also an economy that is not overheating, as you can see from the inflation not increasing. But Jerome Powell is demonically holding us hostage, keeping the interest rates artificially high because he is a political tool and needs to be removed from that position. Unfortunately, he's semi-independent, and that is a problem. But our economy is doing well. But here, we're trying to give some warning signs. Stocks are up, tax cuts are coming, but consumer spending is slowing, and the full effects of tariffs have not yet been hit. True, but the revenue coming from tariffs hasn't been felt yet either. So, Tropical storm Chantal is off the coast of the Atlantic, and it's going to hit South Carolina on Sunday. That's a big one. Look at that. You can see the image, radar image there of all that storm building up there. Tropical storm Chantal is formed off the southeastern coast of the United States, expected to make landfall along the South Carolina coast Sunday morning. As of 11 a.m. today, the storm's center was located 135 miles southeast of Charleston, roughly 220 miles southwest of Wilmington, North Carolina. After remaining nearly stationary overnight, Chantal began drifting northward at about a mile per hour. Forecasters expect the storm to gradually pick up speed and move north-northwest and make landfall along the South Carolina coast Sunday morning. Well, that's not good for South Carolina. Texas flood update, folks. My goodness, this is crazy. At least 27 people are dead in fast-moving floodwaters northwest of San Antonio, including 9 children. 27 girls remain unaccounted for from a camp on the Guadalupe River. This is hectic. Look at that. Total devastation. Surprised the highway still exists. The river just went right over it. All those trees ripped. The campgrounds. What a total mess. Rescuers swarmed stretches of the swollen Guadalupe River in central Texas this morning in a desperate search for more than 24 missing campers and others swept downstream by intense flooding. At least 27 people are already dead, including 9 children. Heavy rain continued to fall in counties east of the already devastated region. Officials said 27 girls from Camp Mystic in Kerr County were still unaccounted for by late this morning. Distraught parents posted photos of their missing children online seeking information. Well, you're not going to find them online. They're probably downstream, unfortunately. At least 27 dead, and it's just crazy what's going on here. Let's see this footage here. Here you go. Look at that. Devastating. I don't need the CC on there. Get rid of that. That is insane. That's crazy. That's some crazy stuff there, folks. Crazy stuff. Oh, wow. Here, you can see a better image of the picture. This closed caption keeps coming on. I can turn off. Okay, watch this. Look at this river here. This is crazy. Look at that. Guadalupe River. Oof, man. That is power of nature. That is the power of nature. That's crazy. Oh, man. Messing with Mother Nature. Herman Ruiz, thank you for Super Chat. I usually don't do that till after news and ask you to hold it, but I'll answer it. If sanctions impose ANC leadership, won't they act reactive instead of taking stock and back down? Probably, but what are they going to do? They're going to impose sanctions against America? What are they going to do in America? They can't hurt us. They can hurt South Africans, but they can't hurt us. Here's some more images that I showed last night from this the flood taking place in Texas. Look at that. Whew, man. Raging Guadalupe River leaves fallen trees and debris in its wake. Surveying damage. Here's a mother reunited with her daughter from the camp. Look at all that debris. Swept away. There's a shoe in there. I can see a shoe. That's not good. Here's the National Guard helping people out. And look at that. Look at that tree. That's how high the water was. That's insane. See the man standing there? And then look at that tree above him. A good 20 meters higher than him. There's debris in the tree from raging waters. That's insane. That is a lot of water. First responders out there from Travis EMS. Man. How do you survive that? Oh, somebody's photograph stuck in a tree. Elementary school is a reunification center. We saw an amazing rescue yesterday of a girl high up in one of these trees who climbed up and first responders saved her. Pretty incredible. Look at this. That looks like an ocean out there just below the first responders. Kerr Fire Department. Look at that. The power of Mother Nature is just unbelievable, folks. It is unbelievable. Man. Trump says the U.S. will hold talks with the Chinese on a possible TikTok deal next week. President Trump told reporters on Friday that U.S. officials begin talks with China about a potential TikTok deal next week. Trump stated that the United States pretty much has a deal for the sale of U.S. operations, but noted it will likely require approval from the Chinese Communist Party. Well, we'll see. Otherwise, TikTok is going to go bye-bye. TikTok will say, no clock. They'll be stopping. Elon Musk lays out his plans for an America party. Well, let's talk about this. I've made light of Elon Musk and saying how he want to divide things, but I think he actually has an approach that might accomplish something. Let's see. Elon Musk lays out America party look. Elon Musk floated more ideas for his America party as he continues his break with President Trump. He took a poll on Friday, and about half the people backed the new party. He said one way to execute this would be to be laser focused on 2 or 3 Senate seats in 8 to 10 House districts. Given the razor-thin legislative margins, that would be enough to serve as a deciding vote on contentious laws, ensuring that they serve the true will of the people. If this insane spending bill passes, the American Party will be formed the next day. Well, the party wasn't formed. It's today. Is the American Party been formed? Has the American Party been formed? I don't know. Elon Musk is throwing his toys out of the pram, but that approach would actually work. If you would go after vulnerable seats for Republicans or Democrats, snatch it with a third party with a lower amount of votes, then you could form a bulwark, kingmaker in the House and Senate. That would work. Kind of like a parliamentary system in Europe. It would work. Yeah, he got a taste for politics and he liked it. Yep. That's the news today, folks. Sorry, I only got here now. Crazy indeed. Hey, Victor Morgan, what's going on? Water's fast and powerful. If you haven't seen the rivers in flood, difficult to understand how quick. It happens very quickly, Patches. It happens very quickly. That's why people who drive through floods are foolish. Don't do that. Don't do that. Sadly, my cats would be terrified. Yin Yang hasn't been the same since New Year's flashbang type big bang. All the fireworks. Yeah, they don't like that stuff. That was in Texas. It was in Texas. That's in near San Antonio. Well, they do send warnings out, St. Master, but these things can happen very fast. You can see how high that water is. And we're talking 20 meters of water. How many billions of gallons of water does it take for that to rise to that level? That's insane. Mother Nature is very powerful, Monique. You're spot on with that one. Yes, it flooded 40 years ago and there people died in the same location 40 years ago. Yep, it happens. Don't live near rivers. Don't live near fault lines. Don't live near Hurricane Alley. Don't live near Tornado Lane. Live in a quiet place without, black supremacist and white racist live in a quiet place where things are just normal. That's what I do. I live in a quiet place. Yeah, I know, Ingrid, I can't imagine what the parents are going through with those missing children. It must be tough. The government plays false sense of rainbow. They have other agendas. Yes, Mad Max, they do. And thank you, Hermine. Yeah, the ANC can't strike back at the U.S. What are they going to do? Put sanctions on our goods? We don't need South Africa's market. I mean, we only send about $8 billion worth of goods there out of a $30 trillion economy. No one's even going to miss that. So it's not going to affect America's economy, but it'll be devastating in South Africa. So they can strike back all they want. They're already striking back. I mean, it's time they get a PK. The South African government just this week signed a condolence book. After we bombed Iran, they signed a condolence book to support the terror regime of Iran at their embassy. There's an insult to the United States. The other day, we saw that Ronnie Lamola had a press conference, and he said that the United States had apologized for not coming to the Sherpa concert in Sun City. That's nonsense. We didn't apologize. They also didn't send any senior representative or serious delegation to the U.S. Africa Business Conference in Luanda. So that's 3 insults to America in the span of less than a week. That's on top of Ramaphosa running on going, I thought they were pulling a Trump on me. They're dimming the lights. That's another insult. The list goes on and on. They can't help themselves. It's obvious it's intentional. Nasty people they are indeed. Nasty, nasty people. But that is the ANC. They can't help themselves. So, but they can't do anything in the U.S. They can pontificate and pound their chest all day, but they're already paying the price for their stupidity. Already paying the price. Yeah, the Texas floods are sad. Hot dog eating contest. Ugh, it's disgusting. This country's so proud like the U.S. It's amazingly beautiful to see people together like that. Yep. Like the video of Trump and the wifey schmoozing on the balcony. It's nice. You two screwing around with me again, kicking me out, taking several minutes to type one word. Bucks do it again. I pick up the horse and ran. What's this? Stunning. My birthday is on Guy Fawkes. Wish I had such awesome fireworks. Yeah, well, there's a lot of fireworks on Guy Fawkes. Well, I would like to have been in D.C. last night too, but I'm not driving 2 hours just to come back in all the traffic at night. Better looking than Big Mike Obama. Alexander, great. The Springboks are in charge of their slogans as far as I know. No one here is a PR team. Take it up with the right people. Why not just take the jet to an American aircraft carrier? The Yanks will drop it off the way home. Problem sorted, says Charles. Good point. A lot of BE supremacists think that Russia and China will be their saviors. Now, not going to happen. They haven't done anything yet. Rolinda's leaving on a jet plane. The iPhone is not cheap, yes. And look what it does to the environment. Alexander, great. I'd appreciate you stop arguing with my audience. Africans seem unable to realize electric cars are not going to work in Africa. Yeah, well, because there's no electricity. What else? Why do you guys engage with a troll? Renee says there is now a thing regarding MTM involved in the 7 October attack on Sundays. No, there's no thing of MTN being involved in it that I'm aware of. There is an issue with MTN and bribery that's in the U.S. court system. There's all kinds of rumors floating around. What would MTN have done to support that? How could they have been involved in that unless they funded it? I seriously doubt they can do that. D. Beaumont says, good evening from Cornwall. I found your channel last November and I've been unsubscribed 5 times. They also flick up a message warning if you comment on your content, others will see. What? Of course, what kind of nonsense is that? I mean, they don't do that on any other channel. D. Beaumont. See, that's pure harassment. Thank you for telling people that. See, that's just, look, I hate to be a broken record, but I mean, look what they do to my viewers. And they chase people away. Thank you, D. Beaumont, for finding the channel from Cornwall. Cornwall, lovely place. I've got tickets to games down there. Exeter's in Cornwall, isn't it? Isn't Exeter Cornwall? Yep. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. What are they so afraid of? They've limited my scope, my span. It has a big impact. There's a lot of evil people in the world. The only people that I target and go after are public people or people who embarrass themselves. I don't go after private people. I certainly don't attack groups. It's silly stuff. But thank you, D. Beaumont. A warning. I've got that too on my own channel. I've seen a warning like that. Also, I love how when I refute the white Geno narrative, when I claim it's not real, they put a warning on my video as if I'm purporting that that's the case. It's just, it's ridiculous. No, it's 492 likes. We're a long way from 1,000. A long way from 1,000. Oh my gosh, this Alexander guy's got a hard on for something here, man. Good Lord, get over yourself. Kristen, oh, what happened with Kristen? Kristen get engaged? Wow, Ingrid's congratulating. My opinion of HIV is that by now all people should know how HIV is self-inflicted unless you're right. Each country should, yeah, well, yeah. YouTube took your like away and told me the stream ended. Shadow bit. What? What? Okay, now you guys just making stuff up, right? Cyril just stated Europe owes Africa in response. Where did he say that at, Leon? Leone Wadley. Where did he say that at? Soccer federations need money for development sport, but black people don't have money to fund this. If we really believe one team, one nation is strong. Well, too bad, Alexander. Maybe black people should start making money and stop letting the black politicians steal from them. Maybe that would happen. Just trying to start some crap here, aren't you? YouTube blocked your score? Well, that's crazy. All kinds of stuff happened in this stream. That's why I've always told people, too, we know that the actual size of the audience is actually larger than YouTube tells me. It's pretty obvious they steal about 40% of my views. They really do. I know they do. They report false data all the time. I mean, if I was rich like Crowder or Musk, I would do a class action lawsuit against them, but I'm not a billionaire, so I don't have time to fight them in court. It's just stupid stuff they do. What do you mean, where are the supervising personnel? The camp counselors were there. There were over 700 girls at the camp, and almost all of them were evacuated. It sounds like somebody didn't move fast enough. Kristen got married on the 4th of July. Seeing myself as American, how much more can one? Oh, congratulations, Chris, on your marriage. Congratulations. Wow, folks, there you go. Congratulations. All right, now I've run out of space for a chat, so come back down to the beginning and see what I've come up since I started chatting with people. So we drove past the DA gazebo this morning in Midval. The lady looked at us and waved, and I looked back and shook my head. Well, it's not her fault, man. It's not her fault. Hey, G. Sawyer. Praying for your healing. Hey, Irene. Benny says, my son sent us videos from Seattle, Miami off cruise ships on the 4th of July. Really impressive to see there, and cruise ships having a proper jaw. Well, that's nice. Are they working on the cruise ships, Benj? Or are they on a trip? Because I'd like to do the Alaska trip one day. I've never done it. It's the only cruise trip. I mean, I've done cruises in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean. It's just ugh. No, it's miserable. Too nasty. Too many badly behaving people on these cruise ships. Never going to do it again. I've done cruises in the Baltic. Those are nice, but they're overnight trips to get to Scandinavia. I like those. Yep. I do want to do the Land of the Midnight Sun Norwegian Fjord cruise. I've still not done that. I had a chance to do it 30, 40 years ago. I never got around to it. Would really like to do that one. Yep. Elon said some unhinged thing about electric cars being the future. They're basically legislated in Norway. They tax gas vehicle dixie all the while their wealth comes from. Exactly right, Light Rain. Norway makes all of its money from selling trolls. and drilling for oil. That's how the Norwegians make their money. They don't make it from fish. Yeah, so they make all their money from oil, and then they demonize oil. It's funny. It's hilarious. It's pathetic. And the Norwegians let them get away with it. Okay. Evening, Jillian Mulder. Welcome back. Ita Queenie had a contract for electric bus a few years ago. No idea if they're... No, they didn't, to my knowledge. JP says, when will we be commencing a rugby coach training program? To date, U.S. Eagles team has been unable to take the world on the... Well, JP, it's going to take a lot more. Rugby has to grow like soccer did in America. Soccer grew. I love how, by the way, the Alexander Great coming in here demanding subsidies for his pet project. That's a perfect example of socialism. That's not how the world works. You like something, you fund it, you build it. Don't steal money from other people to fund your crappy sport. Sorry, Freya. It's crappy. Have you ever watched the Kaiser Chiefs? Ugh. Orlando Pirates? Ugh. Bafana. It's the most racist team in the country, I guess. Nobody's welcome except black guys. We had one white guy, only because he married a black chick, and he was only a goalie, and he only was a replacement goalie. Palabora is so warm. No, thank you. Oh, there are good people in South Africa, Marinda. There are good people all over South Africa. Most people in South Africa are good, but they're just very quiet. Gunfire becoming weekly occurrence, says 1440. Sorry to hear that. Cannot confirm nor deny, but I see Bivest poster on X saying they will give a full scholarship to you unless they're white. Yeah, no, actually, I've got a poster that one of my viewers sent me there, Side Off for Connor, that's from FMB, I think. And I gotta find that in my chat. I didn't save it yesterday. I thought I did. I gotta find that so I can save and make a video about it. Good evening from Palaboro. Wow, that's out there. Good Lord. Z Wildlife. Thank you for joining us. How's things in Palaboro there? So what states USA are safe from these disasters? Alligators, coyotes, and bears. Well, no problem with bears here. Coyotes are working their way up, but we don't have a problem with coyotes, and there's no alligators here. And I don't have hurricanes. I mean, the storms come here, but the hurricane is gone by the time it gets here. Don't have tornadoes for the most part. No earthquakes. This place is here. It's awesome. Spoke of it this evening during the rugby game. Our kids should bury us, not bury our kids. What did I miss there? It's been pouring rain all day. It just started to hail. Oof, that's crazy. Just issued terrorist warning for South UK. Wow, UK issued terrorist warning for South Africa. Really? Are you sure about that? I'm getting a lot of people sending me stuff where people are saying things are said. They're not really happy. No, it's been in place since 2022. No, unless something new. No, I see nothing. No, nothing. Where'd you get that from? Thank you, Francois, but I don't see it. House was flooded. We live nowhere near a river in a mountainous terrain. Well, yeah, you got to be careful there. Live in Pennsylvania, FEMA tent. No, don't. And tent gates open on the Val Dam this year, and that was crazy. Yeah, I know. Well, you guys saw. Let me show you the outcome of that down river on. Hang on a second. Where's this at now? Where did I put it at? What is that on now? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Give me a second here. I'll show you this. Give me a second here. Let me hook this up. Okay. So I hooked up my drive. Let's get to that now. Okay, here we go. All right, now I'm going to get down to... What the heck is that? Well, that was me leaving. Let me get down here. I'm going to show you the outcome of that downriver, the Orange River. You'll see some pictures and videos of this. Here we go. Okay, so here is... Okay, let me see. Okay, all right, so this is approaching Uppington. You can see my flight into Uppington here. Okay, let's do this. Okay, there we go. And we want to turn that on. Okay, so that's Uppington. You can see the Orange River on the right. You can't really tell there that it's overflowing, but it is overflowing its banks. Here you can see a little bit of it overflowing. A little bit more. At a good angle coming out into Uppington. All right, so yeah, that's Uppington. Now, let me get back to, I'm going to show you the Orange River and a few more spots there after that. Okay, here you go. Okay. So this is the bridge. This is a bridge, and then there's the line where the pipe goes across here. This is in Uppington, crossing the river by the campground. Campground's on the right-hand side of this photo. Look at that. It's hectic, man. Thank you for becoming a member, Marnus. Look at all that water.
Hey.
Man. Man, oh man. That's hectic. You want a well-built bridge, not one of the 30% math guys building the bridge. That's crazy. All right, so hang on. Got more to show you there. That's just crazy, man. Okay, so that was when I was there on May 5th. Excuse me, May 7th. May 7th. Went to O'Rabi's Falls and got a few videos of that. Insane, man. That's a lot of freaking water. It's a lot of water. The Grand Canyon is pretty amazing. I'm just saying this is O'Rabi's. That's not how it normally looks, folks. That is not how it normally looks. That was because of the Orange River. They let all the sluices open. Yep. At the Val Dam. A lot of ANC tears. Yeah, so that was Robbie's Falls. I wouldn't have gone there on my own, but I was taken there by Rob. It was nice of him to take me up there. So I went up, not Rob, Rob. Took me up there and we went, we saw that. So, yep, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it's a shame it's getting screwed up. I agree with you, Otopi. It's an amazing country. You know, we showed the video of the zip lining Caledon. Also got the video of me zip lining at Sarah's. That's pretty cool. Hours listening to that. Yep. Not even Chuck Norris can stop that. Yeah. Oh, it was so loud there, Karen. It was so loud. Karen, so loud. And it was just amazing. And everything was soaked. We drove up to the parking lot and I was like, who's been spraying the parking lot? I didn't realize it was the mist coming up from the falls. It's incredible. You're welcome, Estelle. I still got a lot of videos to make off my footage. It's South Africa. That's one of, but not many people are watching the video. So it gets a little frustrating to put all the time and effort into it if people aren't watching it. But yeah, so some people are watching it, but a lot of people aren't getting notified. They just aren't getting notified. That's the thing. That's the challenge here. USA politicians support genocide. Nope. Nope. Somebody said U.S. politicians support genocide. Nope. If you fear heights, what's that? Oh, you've never been there. Okay, well, it's pretty cool. 1 hour before I start panicking, hubby should be home soon. Okay, Renell, why are you going to panic? Max, very sad. We went to Jimmy's every December till mid-2000s. Is Chris going to dance today? Why would I be dancing? I live in the Cascade Mountains, named because water cascades down everywhere, even seeing waterfalls all over. Yeah, the Cascades is beautiful. Yep, you're welcome, Estelle. What did the Austrian president say about South Africa? I didn't. Where did you see that, Wild Mountains? Austrian president. Okay. State visit. Here we go. See, this is from the government of South Africa. I probably have it. Will visit. That's no good. Let's see what he says. Welcome to South Africa. That's what Ramaphosa had to say. Nothing from what the Austrian president had to say. On EWN, okay. All right, well, I'm looking to see if he said something here. Looking for news reports. I'm not seeing anything. Boost relations with focus on trade. Vow to strengthen ties mid geopolitical. Deepening trade relations. Let's see what they say. During a high-level meeting, Fundamental emphasized the strength of the diplomatic relationship, noting that both countries are forward-looking and united in a desire to create a better future. As you can see, Austria and South Africa are active partners who are committed to building a good future, and in regard to the political relations between the two countries is excellent. Okay, I don't see anything there. You realize that the president of Austria doesn't mean anything. He doesn't run the country. It's the prime minister. South African President Ramaphosa and visiting Austrian counterpart met on Friday. He applauded South Africa for its nonviolent, inclusive transition from apartheid democracy. Well, dude, that's 31 years ago. He said this has made South Africa an exemplary model for peace and stability in the world. Really, 700,000 people murdered. Said that South Africa is Austria's most important partner on the continent. South Africa and Austria commit to deepening trade relations. I don't see what he said. There's nothing here. A new chapter in Austria-South African relations. Guys, that's like saying a new chapter in South African Swaziland relations. Seriously? New chapter in South African-Austria relations. It's not Russia. It's not Brazil. It's not China. It's not Canada. It's not the U.S. It's Austria. I love Austria. I've been to Austria so many times. I spent a lot of time in Austria. Don't get me wrong. Österreich is im Herzen für mich. But give me a freaking break. Where? I don't see that anywhere. It must be on EWN. So I'll have to go there. So that's a video. Hopefully it's on YouTube. Austrian president in South Africa. There it is. Okay, that's from SABC News. I don't see anything from EWN. I don't see anything from EWN. So let's see what SABC News had to say.
President Cyril Ramaphosa currently hosting his Austrian counterpart.
Deep global partner.
Yeah. This is the first visit of an Austrian president to this wonderful country. I'm surprised of that personally, and I look forward very much to many fruitful meetings here in the country, as well as to be able to admire the beauty of.
U.S. refugee group, 20 people asking to join. Okay, that request is no longer there. One person got into that group. That's the first one. And the other one, yes, refugee. Where's the other one at? Okay, I'll do it this way. Okay, someone else left the other group, so let's go there. 60 requests. One person got in. 2 got in. 3. 4. Wow, a lot of people leaving. 5. Okay, 5 people got in. 6 people got in. Wow, what's going on there? Okay. Got 1,025. They're both full, so they're still pending. One has 22, and the other one has how many? 54 requests to join. So get what I can in there. What else? Waste your time, Chris. How to be begging trade deals elsewhere to make up for export percentage? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Austria must be desperate. Yep. Was on X to look for what's being said about Bivest. What's going on? Chris Ehlers, everybody's talking about. I don't see that there. Begging, squirrels don't. Yep. Hey, Monique Caton. Jason, but I hope that every person that leaves the refugees groups are those that made it across. No, some people just leave because they just want to use this. So that's why they're leaving. Yep. Other people, they're like, oh, it's been too long. Really? You've lived in this shit for 30 years and 3 months is too long. Actually, in this case, 6 weeks is too long. Good evening, Ray. Hope you're well. Thank you for being an inspiration. You're very welcome. On a farm 20 kilometers from Settlers. Hubby got a free ticket to Loftus. I'm stuck alone on the farm. Too many chats in one refugee group moved. Okay, first off, stop. Full stop right there, Firefox. Firefox, stop. Stop. Everyone listen. I created 2 refugee groups in WhatsApp. That's what we're talking about. None of this other crap. No one can chat there. So you can't tell me that there's too much chat because no one can chat. The only people who can post in there are moderators and myself. And the only person ever posting in those groups is Hendo and me. So you're not talking about my groups. And it's the same on Telegram. The Telegram refugee group says 3,180 people in it. No one can chat there. It's simply for information for you to receive. So there's no reason to leave it. None whatsoever. But people are welcome to leave it. Welcome come. My do not have any chat. So you're not talking about my groups. Now you might see my name in a group because people have added me without my permission or even sometimes maybe an admin on groups. Doesn't make it mine. I get people pissed off at me all the time. Why did you delete me? You're moderators. What the hell are you talking about? I didn't delete you. I didn't know who you are. Well, they took me out. Took you out of what? Out of your groups. What group? And they tell me, that's not my group. I don't own it. Good Lord. Firefox, you weren't saying that, but I'm just saying, but these are not my groups. I have 2 WhatsApp groups, and only because they only let you have 1,025 people. If they let you have 100,000 people, I'd have 1 group, and 1 group on Telegram. That's it. And nobody can comment except Hendo and me. And I originally told my moderators, don't post anything in here unless it's refugee related. But then Hendo put every video I do in there. I'm not going to spank Hendo for his enthusiasm, and sometimes it's necessary just to keep the group flowing. Otherwise, people leave because there's nothing in there. Austria produces some of the gas chemical seals in the world. Well, great. But their capacity is very limited. It's a tiny country of 8 million people. Yeah, and Lindy says that she likes being there because the only place you get notified of my videos. Okay. Want more info? No, you just want more info. What information you want in a refugee program? I wasn't talking about it, but I'll answer a question now if you want. Telegram Insiders Group has too many senseless chats by people writing 20-page letters. Well, the Insiders Group is Telegram Insiders Group. Yeah, that's not my group. Oh, it is my group. I'm sorry. It is my group. My bad. My group. I'm sorry. That one is my group. I apologize. Yeah. Well, then yeah, that's a channel that was created so people could follow the videos. Yep. But a lot of people are jumping in these groups because they want to do refugee stuff. And that's fine. But anyway, thank you, David Simpson. Tucker Carlson's interview with President of Iran will air soon and request an interview with Israel. Okay. Tucker Carlson. I thought, isn't Tucker Carlson predict World War III right now because Trump was out of control? Didn't Alex Jones predict World War III and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Owens? All these people predicted World War III. I guess I must have missed the memo on that one. Worked at Fost Alpine when they built the ladle furnace at Iscor. Described from around January, and I appreciate all you do and say and I think I speak for most. Well, thank you, Jason. I just wish that YouTube would stop harassing my viewers and unsubscribing them. Renee was on here earlier. She was upset. She didn't say that, but she's upset that she's not getting notified. I appreciate that. I understand. Let me explain a couple things in defense of YouTube. Number one, they've got some problems. They're not managing their site very well. I don't know what's going on, if they don't have enough people or they're not managing it properly, but they've got some hiccups. That's one problem. Number two, if I post a live stream, any content creator posts a live stream, and we go live less than 30 minutes before the live stream, then they don't send announcements out. That's just the way they do it. They send all announcements out. You have to have it post at least 30 minutes. So that's one reason why some people don't get the word. Also, in a WhatsApp group, they have chats. Please post your WhatsApp group link. Francis Ruiz, okay, your statement doesn't help me here. The fact that you're on a WhatsApp group that have chats, is that germane to asking the WhatsApp group? Because now I don't know what you're asking. The WhatsApp groups that I have for refugees, is that what you're talking about? Those you can't comment. It implies that you want to be able to comment, so you want one of the other groups. And there's plenty of groups. The Insiders group is mine if you want to join it. But as someone said a moment ago, there's just too much chat. They didn't like it. That's on Telegram. So the Insiders, members. Okay. How do I invite to this thing? Come on. Oh, boy. Trying to find... Oh, here we go. Invite. Be a link. There we go. Copy link. Okay, I had to think for a second because I don't do this very often. So this is, if you want to join the Insiders group, which someone said there's too much chat, and that's fine. Hey, Renee. Yeah, well, I said you didn't say you were upset in the chat, but I said, okay, maybe I overstated it. You're concerned. Is that fair? You were concerned. Is that a fair statement? Yeah, Renee's still here. Yeah, well, I'm concerned, Renee, because it happens all the damn time, and I lose people. And see, the thing is that when YouTube doesn't put up what you watch up for you next, then you lose sight of people and you forget about it. Otherwise people become regular viewers. They're here all the time. Pin that message. Okay, that message. So that's the Telegram group if you want to join it. So let me just give an example here. I'm going to go to YouTube, and I'm going to go to let's see what they show me. Okay, hopefully nothing embarrassing. All right, so they're showing me Rugby, Ernst Biz News, Brickmaker, something I never heard of here. Decent Q, never heard. That's because Rob Hersoff on there. That's why. And then a Morning Shot interview with UIM. Wow, I didn't know that. Wow. Neil promised me an interview a month ago. I haven't pestered him because he's not well. There's me on Biz News. So these are things I should be seeing. Forever Sports, yeah, that's stuff I watch. I should be seeing this. Okay? But what's happening to you guys is you're not seeing my content coming up. Do you see any of my videos posted there? No. And I have a subscription to that channel. Not one of my videos is there. Renee, you just work around, but you're one person who's dedicated. Most people aren't that dedicated. And it hurts the channel. It hurts the channel a lot. So why has the U.S. regime changed so many countries? What are you talking about, Michael Holmes? Changed what? You're going to troll, Michael. At least do it in good faith. That's why you're asking for your no chat groups. Oh, okay, Francis. Well, the no chat groups are full. You want the Telegram group? Okay, there you go. I can give you that one. Okay, that's easy. Okay, hang on a second. Cancel. That's not what I want. U.S. Okay, you want the no chat one? I did that. Oh, we lost more people in that group. What the hell? Members invite. Okay, so this is the one you want. Then this is the one you want. I'll replace the link at the top. Then okay. Actually, I won't replace it because. Well, I will replace it because anybody that can go 120,000. So if you want to just get messages or the stuff from this video, then you can join that group, okay? But you can't comment there. That's what you're looking for. Thank you. Now I understand. WhatsApp group 2, we can post. No, you can't. No, you can't. And if you can, then I'm going to fix that right now. U.S. refugees group, okay. Only admins can send messages. Only admins can send messages. It says it right there. You can't repost. You're in some other group. That's not my group. That's not my group. No, I know what he's talking about, Holden, but he's going to have to mention. You can't just throw something out there. He just throws nonsense out there when he's trolling, and he doesn't give us any facts. If he wants a troll, he's going to have facts. He wants to have a conversation. Maybe Michael. No, okay. I support a multipolar world instead of the unipolarity. There is no unipolar world. That's nonsense. It is a multipolar world. That's why the world is in such shit right now. You have the European Union, you have China, and you have the United States. It's a multipolar world. I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. It's already a multipolar world. And this is why we're in shit. We had a bipolar world, and things were much smoother. U.S. and other countries act like bullies. John Mearsheimer says, well, John Mearsheimer is full of shit. I don't care how many books he's published. His international relations expertise. You know, he means his international relations propaganda. Mearsheimer. He said some good things, but he also said some stupid stuff. Where do we act like a bully? And oh, by the way, so what? Get over it, Michael. We can. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Live in your fantasy world? All right, that's it. Alexander, you were warned. Just a 5-minute one this time. Just a 5-minute one. You're threatening people. So you got a 5-minute timeout. Your nonsense race hustling you started earlier, trying to pretend to be just middle of the road there. We don't tolerate racists, whether they're white or black. So you've just been given a timeout there, Alexander Great. Nope, I didn't say the U.S. is a bully. I said we're the biggest kid on the block. Get over it, Michael. So you still haven't given an instance here. Bring a case. But you can't. So you're like that crybaby on Al Jazeera from Zimbabwe who's whining about America. He clearly doesn't like America, so they give him space to publish his rant. He admits that all of his family have come to America and they've all done very well here, but he doesn't like America. He doesn't want to come there. It's not safe. The healthcare is terrible. Oh, fuck off. You don't know anything about America. You're talking out your ass. Not you, the guy from Al Jazeera. That's not my group, SDP. See, you guys are blaming me for crap I have nothing to do with. That is not my group. Number 2, SA refugee. Not my group. Number 2. Let me see if that comes up on number 2. Yep, that is not my group. Not my group. Not my group. You guys are blaming me for something that's not mine. Typical. I couldn't find a Colonel Rugby with Guru the Great. Huh? Can I please get the link to the U.S. Refugee Admissions info group on WhatsApp? Well, Peter, I'll put you in the queue for the lowest one, okay? So, because one of them says you work your way through it. This one has 22. This is the original one because people left it, and then we've been adding people all along. So, the mail is here. Post office delivering right now. You can hear the mail truck out front drive past my house. That is, there are 22 people. The other one has 50 some. So your chances of getting there are probably stronger. So there it is. Okay. We love the U.S., but I like the idea of a multipolar world because the U.S. has been the biggest political force. That's factually untrue. The United States has not been the biggest political force. The United States has only been the biggest political force in the world since the end of the Second World War. Dude, 150 years? No. 150 years, the United States is not the biggest political force. No. So 2025 minus 150 years takes us back to the year 1875. 1875, the United States was a country that wasn't even unified. We had the army of occupation occupying the southern states, 11 states, or rebellion during the Reconstruction era in 1875. We were in disarray. We didn't even cover the entire North American continent. We were still going west and adding states. Wyoming became a state, 1890 or something like that? We still hadn't become the country we are. We weren't a global force. Our Navy wasn't global. We didn't own a colonial empire like the Brits, the French, the Portuguese, the Germans, the Dutch did. in 1875. Well, the Germans were about to get it. They didn't have an empire until about 10 years later, but we weren't a global power. We weren't a global power until the end of the Second World War, when the world was destroyed and America wasn't. And by default, we had 2/3 of the global output with a small percentage of the world's population. So we've not been a world power for 150 years. That's the very poor understanding of history, Michael. See, that's why I asked you to give me facts so we can talk about it. Yep. People who hate America, especially those living there, can F off. Exactly. Andre Nell, how are you doing? You planning to visit South Africa? I don't know, Andre. It depends. I've already been to South Africa, Andre. I just came back from there, man. Did you not know I was in South Africa? I just came back. I'm more entertaining than CNN. I hope I'm more entertaining than CNN. But thank you, Andre. I just came back from South Africa. That's why I showed you the video a few minutes ago from Okhabi's Falls. Please post your group something to confirm it's your group, so only people in the legit group would get it. Well, Rudolph, no, I'm not going to. I mean, look, if people are just dumb and believe anything they want, I'm not here because people pop up groups all the time. I mean, look, people are spreading a meme around that I died in a traffic accident. I mean, I can't refute people's nonsense all the time. I don't have that kind of time. I've got other responsibilities. I got a lot going on between now and December. I can't do that. I've told people hundreds of times that I have 2 groups on WhatsApp, and people are like, make another group. I said, I'm not making another group because other people make groups. Okay? I'm not making groups. Mine are very clear which ones they are. If you want it, you join when you're here on the live stream, you find out about it. And the same with the Telegram. I appreciate what you're saying, Rudolph, but I'm not going to run around and whack-a-mole every time somebody creates a group. Yeah, I got Pikachu, Katie, at the Durban airport there. Yep. Ghost chatting, yep. Please get well, says Holden. That's right, Loretta, thank you. If you can post in a WhatsApp group for refugees, then you're in the wrong one. That's exactly right. You're welcome, Rudolph. If you can post in a WhatsApp group and it's about the refugees, you want my group, you're in the wrong one. Nobody can post in those groups. Some people don't like that. They want to post. Well, go to one of the other groups. That's what they're there for. I'm in the number 2 group as well, but they chat a lot. Not your problem. Yeah, it's not my group, Sumari. Not my group. Yeah, that's from Ronell. Ronell Guns printed that or made that. She painted that. That's lovely. The detail's incredible. The feathers on his face are really good. You probably can't see from that distance. Yeah, it's incredible. Ronell painted that for me. She's done another one now too. What is confusing in the WhatsApp group? Well, Elmarie, people put me in as an admin. And I don't tell them no, because what happens is these groups, they shut down where people can't chat, and then I can't post something that's important for refugees. So that's why I don't dispute it. But admin doesn't mean mine. When it says owner, then it's mine. When it says owner, then it's mine. You guys are just talking cock. How about focusing on what's really going on? What the hell are you talking about there, Marius Van Heerden? Who's talking cock? What are you talking about? You just popping in here with your finger up your ass out of the middle of nowhere. This is a news program. We spent an hour talking about the news. Now they're asking questions. So what cock is being talked about here? You can spot these trolls a mile away. You can spot them a mile away. Yeah, exactly. It's time for the bunny. You guys are talking cock. What cock? You ain't saying shit. What are you talking about to fix something? You want to talk about how to fix South Africa? Then say something. Just come here and just start saying nonsense. Wyatt is on a tangent. Saw a Joe Rogan show with an investigative journalist talking about the possibility of Hitler escape to South Africa. What? What? No, he didn't. No, he didn't escape. Anyway. Yeah, no, that stuff, that stuff happens. We've had a few people trying to be trolls tonight, so whatever. If that's what you get your jollies on, just being difficult, I can't help people like that. Can't help people like that. So I don't know what to say, man. Don't know what to say. So you come in here and say people aren't offering anything substantive, and you've offered nothing substantive. So.
Go on by, say whatever. Hop to the left.
left, bunnies on the scene. Fur so clean, move sharp, he's mean. Eyes like fire, trolls start to quake. Mess with the bunny, big mistake. Take her off, bunny, protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Bugger off, bunny, protector of peace. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Connell's right hand, ear standing tall. One thumb from the foot sends him through the wall. Carrots in the pocket, wisdom in his paw. Trolls see the bunny, drop their jaw. Bounce, 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 the rhythm don't stop. Trolls try to climb, but the bunny's on top. Guarded the garden, defender of the land. The bugger off bunny with the master plan. Bugger off bunny. Jumping through the chaos, never on a leash. Trolls come lurking, but they can't pretend. The bunny's here and it's the bitter end. Swift as a shadow, silent in the night. Trolls meet the bunny, then they take flight. Ears like antennas, catching every sound. The bugger off bunny, king of the ground.
Well, I think I need to switch to another language because clearly something bizarre is going on here. Either people are just messing with me or having games here. I mean, Sue Walsh just said that she used to love my podcast. Well, these aren't podcasts, they're vlogs, video log. She used to love it, but lately I seem angry and irritated. Seriously? What show are you watching, Sue? What program are you watching? And by the way, seem irritated? I got plenty of reason to be irritated. But what are you talking about? Irritated. Meerkats to Mars? Save South Africa? Meet and greet vibes? Jokes? Good Lord. We joke around and have a fun here all the time and laugh. I don't know what program you're watching. Ich glaube, ich soll eigentlich denn nur auf Deutsch sprechen, weil es gibt viele Leute, die haben gar keine Ahnung, was los denn hier ist. Sowas habe ich gar nicht gesagt. Mein Gesicht sieht nicht so aus. Ich bin nicht ärgerlich. Wieso haben Sie das so gefunden? Ja, das ist ja Wahnsinn. Ja, wir lächeln hier fast jeden Tag. Besonders am Mitternacht. Ja, am Mitternacht haben wir viel Spaß. Aber die denkt, dass ich bin nicht zufrieden. Ich bin zufrieden. Was soll ich denn eigentlich? Ja. The angry German dude. Angry and irritated. My goodness, folks. The OGs, I get a kick out of this. Angry. They haven't seen Angry. Have they, OGs? Have they seen Angry? They haven't seen Angry. Angry. So what are you talking about? You used to love them, but long ago. Recently seems irritated. Have you been paying attention to world events, Sue? Have you been paying attention? South Africa is about to suffer massive implosion. I care about people. And so I'm sorry if you find the passion angry. It's not angry. It's disappointment. As South African officials sit around and do nothing. Should we sit here and smile about it? Virtual Western Cape says, not seen angry. Nope, I've seen it. This isn't angry. Exactly. It's not angry. I got Michael Holmes coming in here. I got this Van Heerden guy coming here spewing nonsense and trying to start something. And I'm very pleasantly talking to them and you're calling me angry? You can't have a fairy tale without trolls, says Fluffy. That's a good point. That's a good point. And Ronell, thank you, Ronell. They've not seen anything remotely angry. No, they haven't. They haven't. I'm going to tell you what. Some of y'all got some really, juvenile feelings. This is from Ronell. Look at the detail in the feathers. Look at that. It's incredible. Incredible stuff. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, it's like the whole thing when I did the video about the jabs, and I said people don't want to get the jabs, then you're not going to come over. Then don't express interest in the refugee program. There's certain standards you have to do. You don't like it, then don't come. I'm not encouraging you to come, not discouraging you to come. That's angry? That's not angry. All the abuse I got for that, for just being honest with people. For being honest with people, Sue. The abuse I got for that, that's unwarranted. I haven't hurt any of these people out here watching this program, the 539 watching right now. I've never stolen from you. I've never abused you. I've never attacked you. But some of y'all think it's okay to attack me and say vile things about me and lie about me in WhatsApp groups. And I should not be angry or frustrated at that, irritated. I think I've had the patience of Job here. The patience of Job. Yes, Julie, the channel vibe is not for the emotionally immature. I agree. Ronella's a brilliant art. She paints really well, man. She does. I couldn't even paint that well painting by numbers. Nope, they haven't seen anything. Just passionate, caring men whom we respect, and you're not sugarcoating. Exactly. People, President Trump's letter's coming on July 9th. It's not going to be good news for South Africa, but we're upbeat about it. Yeah, the tariffs are going to stay at 31%, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right because it's only going to affect people who have jobs. So, if you don't have a job, the tariffs aren't going to hurt you. It'll all be okay because China's going to make up for it and the ANC loves you. And Parks Tao has a plan. Yeah. So, yes, don't worry about the tariffs from Trump or the letter. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Bella, it's a well-meaning piece of legislation that's only meant to give the officials in the province responsibility to make sure that the people locally aren't doing anything wrong. These anti-transformation people, we can't have that. We love transformation. We transform it from wealthy people to poor people. We transfer from privileged people to oppressed people. Transformation's all the rage. And if you're not with transformation, you're just not part of the team. Is that better? Is that happier? Is that happier? Am I doing it better? Yes. All right. So bugger off, Bunny. What do you say? Whoa, he gave me the finger. That's not cool. That's not cool. Don't want to see Colonel angry. That would be like a volcano. Yeah, I have been angry on air, and I regretted doing it, but it was called for. By CD any day, lots of the music was said. What's this? What's going on with memory? Sorry, Karen, I'm not following that. Thank you, Myra Prinsloo. Adolf in the bunker was angry. Do you think the U.S. will increase the quarterly refugees quota? There's no quota. There's no quota been established, Simon, so I don't think anything about that. The South Africa refugee program has got no public quota set on it. Where are you deriving a quota from? Are you getting that from the Washington Post story? That's not a quota. That's a goal. That's a goal by the end of fiscal year. There's no money for the program, so they're trying to work. I assume that's what you're talking about there, Simon. Okay. When the Big Beautiful is passed. Well, the Big Beautiful Bill is passed. P-A-S-S-E-D. It's passed. It's law now. It's law. Trump signed it on the 4th of July. But if you're asking me, do I think the number of refugees will increase? Yes. All indications I have from outside the government are that it's already increasing. It's already increasing. Not many have seen a proper rant. You did one a few years ago. My late browser eyes popped. My look said, what the? Yeah, hey, Nick, that's right. Yeah. Hey, Paulie, what's going on? Yeah, the detail's amazing. That's a great painting. It doesn't do it justice sitting back there. A lot of work went into it. Yep. She's mostly frustrated. Maybe probably be joining and catching at odd time. Well, Sue Walsh has been here for a while. I gave Sue a mod. She's been here for at least a few months. So I don't know what she's talking about a long time ago. Yeah, I am frustrated. That's a fact. I'm frustrated by so many things. So many things. Although I had a good day today, very good day today. People I haven't heard from in ages wrote back to me, including some well-known South Africans that have not been answering my messages from time. They just wrote back out of the blue. A couple wrote to me. I'm like, oh, wow, good to hear from you. If your house is still standing, the Colonel isn't. Please go watch the interview with Morning Shot. I will watch it. Okay, why do you want me to watch it, Explicit? Neil was supposed to come to my program over a month ago, but he's ill, so I didn't press him. He does his weekly show with Biz News. I wrote to him the other day. He didn't respond. He did read my message, though, so I thought he wasn't well. Afrikaans direct and blunt, no problem with saying it up straight up. Well, then why are people upset with me? Louis Harshoff says, hope you're well. I work for Ford. Do you think it's something yeah, of course. Of course. You got a resume, you work for Ford, you come to America, I'm sure you can find a job with Ford, but you're going to have to live someplace with a manufacturer like Michigan or Indiana. Yeah, the financial stream is still going to happen, but I got busy and didn't get a chance to get back with the numerous people. I've got to coordinate with multiple people who have different pieces of information to help me make sure I get it straight. So I'm still going to do that. But I mean, why bother? I'm just angry. Why would I do that? I mean, what's the point? It's not easy to keep everybody happy, Rudolph. Yep, I mean, 500 plus people, you're definitely going to have a few that here that needs to wear these signs. Yeah. See, Rudolph, I mean, thank you very much. Super disappointed in Neil. Everyone can have an opinion, but what he said was so uncalled for. What did he say? What did Neil say, Lynette? What am I missing here? Okay, I know he did it. What please forward my number to Arctic for your gift and Renell. Loretta, send me a note. Send me a note asking that, okay? Okay, now I've got to see what it go watch. What is it about me? Explicit? Is it about me? Oh, not about me. Okay, I was going to say, Neil is a dear friend. I'd be shocked if he said something about me. I mean, truly shocked. I mean, when nobody gave Neil DeBeer the time of day in the media a few years ago, 4 years ago, whenever it was, 5 years ago, my viewers, Hendo and a few others said, hey, you got to interview Neil DeBeer. And I said, isn't that the guy that everybody hates? Yeah, that's the guy. So I interviewed Neil DeBeer, and I took a lot of flack for that, a lot of flack for it. And then I interviewed him again. And then he invited me to come to a private meeting with Musi Maimani and some incredibly wealthy South Africans and a few other people there in Cape Town at the Indian Hotel across the street from Parliament before it burned. I went there. I interviewed Neil after that. I was a participant in the meeting, the only journalist invited to the meeting. Thank you for that, Neil. And then he had his launch in 2023 at Tigerberg. I covered that. And then some people in Sightlanders were pissed off at me. They called me a traitor. I mean, which traitor? I'm not a Sightlander. What do you think I'm a traitor? Well, why are you interviewing that guy? Because he's newsworthy. And then Vinit Dutoy told him to knock their nonsense off. And I appreciate that. Much respect for him because they said Chris is a journalist. He talks to everybody that's newsworthy or will be newsworthy. Whether he likes them or not isn't germane. And that was exactly right. So, yeah, no. And then Neil made sure I got press credentials for the multi-party charter. Yep. And I pissed off John Steenhuisen because I asked my question from Neil DeBeer, not from John Steenhuisen. Well, whatever. Well, you've got two like-minded people then there. So anyway. Sue Marie, I didn't see it, so I'm going to have to watch it now. Rather watch it and form your own opinion. Yeah, okay. It was not about me. Okay. That's why that was all built up like, watch it. Like Neil said something bad about me. I mean, look, Morning Shot, we've already got this whole thing where people are trying to start something. Chris, did you see what Morning Shot said? What you had to say about refugees? And I watch, I'm like, well, if he says that, he's basically calling me a liar. And that starts a whole bunch of nonsense. And I'll be like, knock it off. Matt, he says, move to Pennsylvania. I hear it's great. No, it's not. It's terrible. It's terrible here. It's a whole 85 degrees and sunny outside. It's beautiful skies. Shh. Don't come here. Don't come here. Thank you, Freya. He was standard nail. Okay, I think I don't take too personally if people don't respond quickly. MJ says, I've often watched your content, have never felt it offensive, maybe because I was really friends, appreciate all you do. See, that's another thing too, MJ. I'm getting attacked a lot from extreme right people now, and some people watch my program because I'm objective about Israel. I didn't say I liked Israel. I don't like what's going on in Gaza. People want to assume that. That's their assumption, not me. Don't like what's going on in Gaza, not at all. But I have no problem with what they did against Iran. No problem whatsoever. Iran is a dangerous place, and the world was allowing it to happen. Barack Obama facilitated, Joe Biden facilitated, and put the world in jeopardy. I mean, do we have to watch suitcase bombs blow up in Miami and Madrid before people take this seriously? Thankfully, Israel took it seriously. But because of that, I mean, I get attacked. Jonathan DT comes in here with his borderline anti-Semitic comments all the time, and I caution him about it. I don't hate Jews. I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate Christians. I don't hate black people. I don't hate white people. I don't hate colored people. I don't hate any people. I hate trolls. I hate demon rats. I hate leftists. But those groups are made up of people of all stripes and races and religions and colors. So, but people make all kinds of assumptions, and I get attacked because what's going on. So I've been getting a lot of grief lately. A lot of trolls coming in because of that. Also, I get a lot of grief because I'm honest about the EFF and MK and ANC and DA. So, you know, that might be one reason why my views are down too, because a lot of people's feelings are hurt and they took their toys and threw them out of the pram because I'm not pimping the DA. Why should I pimp the DA? Did you see their press conference? It was embarrassing. Laying down an ultimatum to the president. He's your boss. And also, I put my video out there on the Bulls, and some people are pissed off about that. Well, you're wrong, Chris. You're wrong. It's the player's right to be upset. It is the player's right to be upset. It's not their right to go to management and say, if you don't fire this coach, I'm leaving. Then leave. It's the Bulls front office and shareholders' decision about who the coach is. If they don't like Jake White, then they'll get rid of him. And they didn't like him, so they got rid of him. But if they did it because the players were revolting, well, then they're cowards and they don't run that club. And they're not leaders. Anyway, so, yeah, people. Well, Astra says I'm wrong about jabs. Well, you know what, Astra? That's your opinion. I have science on my side. Makes me laugh when they disparage Israel, which has 20% Arab population with equal rights. Exactly, Charles. They serve in the Knesset. They serve in the IDF. They serve in the judiciary. They serve in the police forces. They own property. They own businesses. They live in neighborhoods with everyone else. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Exactly, Stan. I give people the news as it should be. But people are so conditioned and accustomed to propaganda and that, well, I don't agree with that. So then they throw their toys out of the pram. Pablo Charlie says you have MAGA factions that hate Israel. Yeah, thank you for the obvious there, Pablo Charlie. You did say that. And I've already called out Alex Jones and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson. Haven't I? Haven't I? Simba Chippy, not a potato. How much love have you got for left-wing hate wankers? Very, very little. I hit dog will holler, call them to the carpet, growing pair. What's this? Oh, hit dog. Who's autistic? Wild Mountain. You know, I'm not worried, Rudolph, if you move next to me. And Twinkles thought Neil was fantastic. What is RJ saying? Okay, yep, see, where are the moderators when you need them? Where are the moderators when you need them? I hate this timestamps just disappear. 3:49. All right, RJ, your comment was removed by me. That's passive voice. I removed your comment. You weren't given a timeout, so Stop doing that. I don't hate bribe rookies. I just don't like them. Makes you laugh when people disparage. Okay, I got that already. Debbie. Where's Debbie at here? I saw Debbie somewhere there. Okay, I jumped ahead there. Come. Thank you. I really love watching this. Thank you. You're welcome there, Debbie. It's my pleasure. Oh, Byron. Okay, gotcha, Wildman. You're saying you think Byron's that way. Gotcha. Tucker Carl's advertising next interview with you. Yeah, that's people said that earlier. No, I don't like onions. I've been pretty straightforward about that. Thank you, Sean Leslie, for subscribing. Yeah, Byron's definitely right of center. Center, right. Yep. Werner Durant, welcome to you. Viper. Yeah, Neil is battling cancer. That's why, I haven't pushed him to come on the program. Nick Groves. Now, let me say this before I watch the interview with Neil, okay? All right, please listen to what I'm saying. Don't infer what you want to hear, okay? Because then this will be a whole storm. All right? Let me say this without people getting upset and leaving. There's 532 people here, so don't run off and leave. Let me say the following. Please listen patiently, okay? I have not watched the interview on Morning Shot with Byron and Neil. I'm going to say the following. Based on the comments in the chat, I suspect that what Neil said offended some people who want to be refugees to come to America. They want refugee status. And that's why you are looking at it negatively. If you're not interested, or maybe if you are interested, you maybe saw or heard what he said more objectively. My supposition, I haven't watched. Don't run around and say Chris stated. I said I'm taking a guess at what's going on here. And I'm going to watch it, and if I'm correct in my analysis, then I'm going to say I'm correct. If I'm wrong, I'm going to say, well, I just took a stab without information. The problem is making projections with limited information is hazardous. But you can't wait for all the information. As an intelligence professional, I never had all the information. I had to make guesses all the time or analysis all the time. Yep. Have I gotten to Dr. Artis and Dr. Group about your medical condition? Who are Dr. Artis and Dr. Group? Don't even know who those guys are. Is that a joke? Only thing I didn't like about Bull's video is at the end when you said you don't care because I was joking, Sue-Marie. I was joking to be lighthearted at the end. Nick Gross, thank you for 35 rand. Have a great day, says Lynn. High-functioning autistic people usually brilliant, worth listening to. There is people who love bribe rookies and people who are wrong. Napoleon Monument, that's good. Lots of horrible comments tonight, says Gary. Yeah, I don't know, horrible. They haven't been horrible, but there have been some interesting comments. Can't afford to live here anymore. Food's expensive. Can't find a job. Can't fit my disabilities here. Living on the farm's not safe. Good point, Helen. RJ hates peace. Well, you're trying to start a pissing contest. When the colonel gets excited, you think he's pissed off. Think of Lamaze classes. That's right. Breathe. In. Out. In. Out. Okay? Can't watch Ronaldo. I fall asleep. Says Alana. Okay. Refugee opportunities and executive order. Neil de Beer nor Byron has superseded. That's a good point. That's a good point, Nick. Good night, K. Jansa van Rensburg, Diana. K. Pablo Paul Kagame cast doubt on the U.S. broker peace deal. No, he cast doubt on the reliability of the parties, not on the deal. Now, see, you're Pablo Charlie, you're wordsmithing there, or maybe I'm wordsmithing. I read what Paul Kagame said. Paul Kagame doesn't believe the people involved are going to adhere to it. So he doesn't cast doubt on the deal. The deal is sound, but people can break deals. Watch a YouTube video on the American Army ranks. Colonel's beastly rank. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mr. T, it's way up there. So in the Army, the way the Army manages officers, you have company grade are managed, then you have field grade, and majors, lieutenant colonels are field grade, and so is a colonel technically field grade, but for assignments, colonels are handled by the general officers branch. At least they were when I was in the Army. They were trying to reform that later on. But every time that I get an assignment saying you're going to Nigeria to be the attaché. That comes from the general officers branch, not from the field grade officers branch as a colonel, because they're putting you in positions that are likely the place you're going to need to be a general, and they treat you as a general officer in that respect. Not in pay, not in rank, but in assignments. So it's an important thing to understand. Yeah, being a colonel is a huge accomplishment. I'm not boasting. That's a statement of fact in the U.S. military. It's not easy. So when I came to the Army, I've told this story before, there were 8,900 lieutenants assessed on that year from ROTC West Point and the Officer Candidate School. Stian, did you get the Telegram video I made of the meerkat? I don't know, Stian. I'll have to go look. Possibly. Thank you for that. I'll make a note of that. Meerkat. Okay. Thank you. Come on. Okay, I'll make a note of that here, so I'll check in a little bit later, okay? Yeah, so 8,900. Of that, 4,200 came on active duty from ROTC alone. In addition to that, West Point graduated 1,000, and then there were probably about 900 from Officer Candidate School that year. So about 6,000 officers on active duty who were lieutenants in 1989. From the around 6,000, 6,200, I made captain. About 3,200 made captain. And then from that, about... I think 1,800 or 2,100 made major. And then from major, about 1,200 made lieutenant colonel. And of the 1,200, only 158 of us made full colonel. So out of 6,200 officers in 1989, about 158 of us made full colonel. Now, you do the math. What percentage is that? The Army likes to pretend that it's 25% because that's 25% who was left, who was considered. So 158... divided by 6,200. That is 2.5% of the officers who entered active duty made colonel with me. So those who make general, it's even much lower percentage than that. Of the 158, probably about 8 or 10 might make general. It's a really annoying accomplished statistic. Why is that annoying? Apparently, Rob Posa says European Union have responsibility to support Africa. Yeah, where's this coming from? That's the second time somebody said that. Million-year-old Himalayan rock salt from Woolies. Ugh. Expires next year. Apparently, okay. Colonel's a flag officer appointment. Can in battle manage a division. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Just do the same thing a brigadier can. Anyway, I came to stir a bit. Good spirit, obviously. Yes, RJ, I saw you were stirring a little bit, so I took that out. But you didn't get a timeout. You meant amazing. Not annoying. That's an annoying statistic. Yeah, it is an amazing statistic. So 2.5% of the people who entered active duty with me as a lieutenant made it to full colonel. And you have 400 generals. U.S. Army has, U.S. Army, I think it's 350 or something like that. Number of active duty U.S. Army generals. How many active duty? Okay. Let's see what it says. There are 39 active duty 4-star generals. That's 4-star. 13 in the Army. So we have 13 4-star generals in the Army. Wow. So. Well, there's 653 generals serving across all the branches. So maybe the Army has 250. Oh, the Army, 218. The U.S. Army has 218 general officers. 218. There's 400 in the South African military or Army. 218 U.S. Army. Wow. What do you mean not in the mood for jokes, RJ? I've been telling lots of jokes all morning. So, good night, Leah. From EWN, thank you. Well, they're not working on Saturday, so they're bored, so they came here. Rudolph, that is odd that your chat isn't updating. Okay. All right. But yeah, 218 active duty in the Army, 149 in the Navy, 170 in the Air Force, 62 in the Marine Corps, and 21 in the Space Force. 218 generals. Total active duty strength is what, 535,000 now? Total active duty U.S. Army. Oh, it's small. It says 443,000. Really? That's small? Wow. That's crazy. Is that right? That can't be right. That's really down a lot from when I left. Huh. 445,000 in the Army. Wow, we shrank a lot. We were 575 when I was still on active duty. 445,000 people in the military. U.S. Army, I should say. 445,000. Wow. Clear this. Okay, so 218 generals divided by 445,000, 475 personnel. That isn't right. That isn't right. So 218 divided by 445,475. There we go. Oh, give me an error. It's such a low figure. It's giving me an error. Yep. He said some people are leaving due to some YouTubers influencing them. Oh, well, that sounds like an attack on me. Who's influencing anyone to leave? Byron's against it. He speaks ill of the refugee program, so he's not influencing anybody. I'm not encouraging anybody to leave. I simply tell people the facts. Anyway, I'm not going to get involved in that nonsense. I'll watch and see what's said. See, that's part of the problem too. You know, people make false. Well, I'm not going to get into. I'm not in the mood for that right now. I'm not going to play those games. No. Okay. All right. So let's just wrap it up here. Exactly. Awkwardly, I've never encouraged anyone to go or stay. I've simply reported the facts. Simply reported the facts. Summary and Theoral. What WhatsApp group? What WhatsApp group? The lists are full if you want the refugee group. There's 50 people in one group waiting and 20 in the other group. Because Byron he's got South Africa in his mind, and people leaving South Africa doesn't help him. Exactly, Sumer. I always say people should choose what works for them. Yes, there are people trying to start trouble between people. Okay, Sumer. Oh gosh. Which of my groups? The refugee groups? Is that what you said? You didn't say refugee group. Do you want one of my other groups? I have other groups. I pinned one of them at the top. There's a pinned link at the top of the chat. Okay, yes. Yes, what? Oh, my goodness. You know, there's another way for me to handle this. I simply just don't talk to anybody in the chat. You're welcome, Savage Daughter. Wow, Helen. No, I'm not talking to you, Sue Marie. I'm just talking about the whole thing today. You're welcome, Andre Mostart. Okay. Hey, there's Mark Myberg. Where you been, man? No, there aren't pills for stupid people. You're right, Mark Myberg. Hey, where's the other Myberg at? I haven't seen her. Where's Petra? 6 cats on your bed. 2 feral cats on your bed, Freya? Why are they on there? I'll deliver a jab to you, Dogzilla, pretty soon. Yep. Yep. Thank you. I only started following you a little more than a month ago. I'm so grateful. Varushka, you've been very active just a month ago. Thank you for being here. Deep breaths, says Yasin. Deep breaths. I'm taking deep breaths. I'm taking deep breaths. You know what? We need something light to cheer us up. People said something light. Let's do that. We need something light. Okay, so here we go. We got something light. We're not going to do meerkats from space. See who else is killing me here, earlier. I don't know what she was talking about. All right, so I don't want to play that one. Let's just one that's just clearly just, nice and sounds nice and people chill. Okay. Here it is. You ready?
Colonel Wyatt's got a plan so sweet. A meet and greet down Strand's wide streets. South African sun kissed the air so bright. We shared our stories through the night. Dozens gathered hearts in sync. With every smile the spirits linked. A room of faces worlds apart, bound by camaraderie heart to heart. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendship's tide, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams. The evening hung with fire and glee. Connections blooming wild and free. Words were sparks igniting light underneath the southern sky tonight. Oh, the beauty, unforgettable glow of strangers and friends we didn't know. Tying threads that'll last and weave. Moments shared with hearts on sleeve. Cheers in the air, laughter grows. Friendship's tide, it ebbs and flows. Strand lit up like golden beams. A night that turns into sweet dreams.
There you go. I love that one. I love that one. Fall asleep with a smile on my face. So there you go, Trudy. Cool beans. All right. More fun at a braai. Really? Okay. You're welcome, Mandy. Thank you all so much. Leka slop to everybody. Yeah, Michael Madsen passed away. We reported on that yesterday. Thank you for that, G-Sawyer. Talked about him in all his movies. Was played a bad guy. All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. What did Freya set herself up for? Okay. We were a farm attack, but we're lucky not to get hurt. Got death threats for years. Oh, it's terrible, Helen. Quiet observer on your channel and the groups, but so unbelievably grateful for you and your mods. It's been a safety net for my sanity. Thank you. You're very welcome, Medic. Okay. Leka Pete. Never meant to be a troll. Also never said that people couldn't have their opinions. Simply said that some of what Neil said was uncalled for. I didn't say you were a troll, Lynette. Didn't say you were a troll. Don't take it personally. I don't think people were talking about you. Good evenings, Colonel. Have you served in Sudan or South Sudan? Neither, Hugo, but I was involved in the non-combat evacuation and the military operation coming from South Sudan. Yeah, back when I was based in Entebbe in Ethiopia, in Uganda, excuse me. Loretta says, I've yet to be someone more compassionate, Colonel, but look at all the grief I get for it, Loretta. Anyway. He's going to Rio. Oh, okay, cool. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Enjoy yourselves. 2 hours. That's enough for today. I have to go watch the Neil DeBeer thing. We'll see what everybody's talking about. Apparently, it's a cool video, a cool interview, or a contentious one. I don't know. I'll look and see. Neil's a friend, so I'll see what he's got to say. Cheers. Be well. Tomorrow, we have the refugee conversation. Tomorrow, the weekly refugee conversation. If you got questions, hold them for tomorrow, okay? Cheers.